that killed 106 civilians as tragic event designed by God. Tinubu, did I take that again? Okay. Said Nigerians must take Tundumbiri bombing that killed 126 civilians as a tragic event designed by God. Now God they give, now God they take. I hope you understand. Moving on, and this is credit to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I beg your pardon. Of course, this report is about Akeredolu evacuated abroad again. Ayedatiwa now acting governor as Tinubu's intervention fails. This is according to this report, or another angle to the report. Well, I do not know if we even took a dig to the very compelling and tragic story of organ harvesting in Abuja. There's a follow-up to that conversation as we hear that organ harvest victim sues Alliance Hospital, demands 700 million compensation. Hey, you see this organ harvesting matter. So in case you're new to this or you've not heard the gist, sorry I didn't tell you. Perhaps we're just be clouded by other stories because that broke over the weekend. That like there's a market now for people who just get to remove people's kidneys. You can just, according to this source, that I mean is an exclusive by Daily Trust, so you could go look it up, that you could even have issue like appendicitis or another pain and they take you in for surgery, but in between the line they've removed one of your kidney. You would know. People have gone to scans to realize that they only have one kidney and they're wondering what's going on. How come we don't know? That's how bad it is. Whereas there are other young men from very low background that are now deliberately selling their kidneys for as low as 1 million naira. That's how bad it is. That's the business. Well, that's that story there, and we'll be digging into it, right? Nigerians groan as naira scarcity persists nationwide. That is, they say on and again naira everywhere for the country. Lack of governance in River State is the reason for the 27 lawmakers' defection to APC. Who said this? Okocha. Isn't it interesting? That because people of River State are not getting good governance. In fact, they don't even see sign of governance at all. That's why the 27 lawmakers decided to, let's shift come to APC where we can get governance. Okay, so let's move to other conversation. Lagos, Ohaneze fires back at Bode George over anti-Igbo comment. You may also need to look up that conversation. Okay, so there's this exclusive report here about how Akeredolu's son begged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for air ambulance to return his ailing father to Germany for treatment. Because they said, according to the source, that the governor could not even speak. That's how serious this situation is. We would look into that conversation, right? Yes. Okay. And there's also another exclusive here about the DSS digging into or probing of ailing Akeredolu's signature forgery and grills Ondo commissioner who raised the alarm. And then there are lots of sound bites here and there concerning what's going on in River State. But you know what? Let's take a quick breather, Lagos. We'll be right back to begin the dissection of these conversations. We'll have a guest joining us on the show. He's on his way. As soon as he joins us, he would begin to tell us his view on the conversations this evening. But before then, let's take a breather, get back and begin to dissect them one at a time. We'll be right back. Lagos, stay with us.
Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
right, Lagos, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People from our studio. It's 10 minutes past the 7 p.m. mark, and then we're getting straight to the conversation. I did tell you quite an array of conversations that we have this evening, but let's just get to the flesh of the matter one at a time, shall we? And of course, we cannot begin our conversation without beginning with what's happening in River State. Or do we rather start from the side note and then move, to other, point? Or maybe we'll just go straight to Ondo State first. So, the Ondo State Governor, Rotimi Akeredolu, would be embarking on another medical vacation in the European country of Germany. This is according to sources, right? Okay. So moving further with this conversation, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu has placed his deputy Lucky Aiyedatiwa in acting capacity amid yet another medical evacuation abroad, rejecting pressures to step down from several power brokers, including President Bola Tinubu. Mr. Akeredolu, in the statement issued on Tuesday by his spokesman Richard Olatunde, would proceed on medical leaves starting December 13. That is tomorrow, over what appeared to be another bout of cancerous disease that has ravaged the governor throughout the year. Now, Mr. Olatunde said a letter regarding his medical leave and a notice formally transferring power to Mr. Aiyedatiwa in line with the Constitution will be transmitted to the House of Assembly. Yes, so there's a lot of back and forth. And still concerning the governor's ailment, sources are saying that, okay, you know what? The Ondo State's governor's son had requested or sought the assistance of President Bola Tinubu to get an air ambulance to return his ailing father to Germany, where he had been receiving treatment. You don't want to know how much that could cost, right? To wonder why he had to make that appeal. The Ondo governor is receiving treatment for leukemia and has been undergoing chemotherapy in Nigeria. Okay, and it was learned that this has been knocking him out for about 10 hours after every medication, and that perhaps that's why he cannot really be in charge of governance in Ondo State. Okay. So with me in the house, I have Mr. Aki Fatake. He is an accountant, a political analyst, and a concerned Nigerian, most importantly. Welcome, Mr. Aki. Thank you so much for having me. I like the fact that you're looking very different.
Thank you.
You're looking all evening-ish.
Thank you very much, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
We are in the throes of the good, the bad, and the ugly.
You called it that. I didn't say that.
It is good because we have hope.
Yes.
It is terribly bad because that's not where we're supposed to be. And it is ugly because we have regressed in.
So considering this, yes, considering going to this Ondo State issue, why has it become so difficult for the House of Assembly to do what is needful, constitutional, by insisting that power be transmitted to the deputy? And even he, the governor, is not stepping down. But at least for the first time in a long time, he's done, what is right. But at least transmitting power to his deputy.
A terrible situation. They're very ugly. I say it's ugly because if you did a mistake and you took a misstep once, okay, all right, you didn't know. And then it's repeated and you go into the gorge, you're going to be subsumed, where common sense flies out of the heart. And before I continue, please let the humanistic element in me commiserate with Arakuni Diaketi himself, going through terrible times. And whether he's a dramatist persona or not, that he's not capable of helping himself and has surrounded himself. Okay, any of us could be in that situation where you have buccaneers. Everybody's pulling out the knives.
Did you just say buccaneers?
Yes, buccaneers.
Okay. That sounds okay. I don't want to explain how it sounds.
Carpetbaggers.
Okay.
People who are just pulling out the knives to cut and divide the spoils of state.
So you think that people, or are you, the wise saying that people around the Ondo State governor are taking advantage of his situation?
More than an advantage, and these are people who are not just his blood and flesh, There are also people who are related to him one way or the other by marriage, still blood and flesh. People he has helped and taken along the paths into the murky politics, I dare say, and is most unfortunate. And
so are you saying this because you think that left to the governor alone he would have done the right thing? Is that what you believe he would have done? Or you think that it's people around him that is influencing what's happening now?
I think he started by doing the right thing. And if my recollection is anything to go by, the Aketi was perhaps the very first, maybe not first, but the first among sequels that transmitted power to his deputy. At the initial time that he was going to go on medical vacation, maybe July, sometime July 2022 or thereabout, or 2023 as the case might be. And then before you could say Robinson, after Jack, you had all manners of persons coming up with their contrived position. Ondo State is divided into some geographical areas where the governor should rotate, and I hear from the last go that Aketi handpicked the man that is now Lucky Ayedatiwa.
To be his deputy.
And
then it shouldn't be a big deal to transmit power to him, or for him to, take over from you.
It shouldn't be a big deal. So he took the right step. He went for some weeks. By the time he came back, the ones I call Buccaneers pulled out the knives and they started the calculations, manipulations. There's got to be a tone. I even heard that in some camps, people behind the godhead of each camp are saying, "Na stadium you won't come watch a match, even if it's not your own. Make a bid for it, and I will stand by you." Now, so the ugly, the bad, therefore means the fact that people are going into it for self-aggrandizement, for what they have to take and not necessarily what they have to give. And poor Ondo State and poor Nigeria will be the worst for it. Don't forget,
because they're deprived of governance.
Not just governance. The place will be stooling blind. There will be corruption at high places. An attempt was made during Jonathan's Yaradua's time until Dora. And
he was, interestingly, one of those, he was the NBA chairman then. He was one of those who championed that power be transmitted or handed over to Goodluck Jonathan, the vice president then. So it's surprising that you know the right thing to do now. Why did you not do the right thing? And
now,
why are you not meddled in this?
Again, putting in perspective, I am aware I have been at television and radio stations where I commended Aketi. And I said, great, you are going, and then you transmitted
power.
You transmitted a letter to the National Assembly. Maybe when you do good, sometimes it has a way of coming back to be evil in this kind of situation. While he was on the sick bed there, people started making a lot of moves, started making comments. So, Ayedatiwa Lucky does not believe you are likely going to come back, and is taking some actions and stuff like that. People now go behind and begin to now so
do you think that may be the reason why he was brought back quickly, or do you think he was brought back in a hurry?
I think he was brought back in a hurry.
Oh wow!
Deliberately,
just to show that establish his presence
and undo. Hey, well, the way things are going, Lucky will be the
alpha and omega of the state.
The governor and stuff like that. Now, escalate that to the federal. Okay, the people with the long knives to what? Making their permutations here and there. Is it lucky that I will have? If I have a lucky, will he not want to be a man of his own? Don't forget what happened to Obaseki and Shomole. And before you could say Robinson and Jack, should I be using those?
It's okay.
Before you can say Promise Anaki. Before you could even say that, people go behind. It happens in corporate politics. It happens in private sector.
Okay, so now the power has been transmitted to the deputy. What do you expect now that he's heading for treatment yet again in Germany? Do we expect that fear to worsen, or Egwuatu to have cool time at least running the affairs of the state?
Probably so. That is the good. So eventually. After push, shame dancing, macabre dancing, we now have a situation where the governor has been made to transmit what he initially started
should
to
have
do.
done.
And I hear that it was done electronically, that he was not in a position. So many stories are flying around. He was not in a position to be able to do that by himself, but goaded, encouraged to do that by Mr. President allegedly. And then you begin to ask yourself, so what is the position of process? I mean, if things went on, Ori and we're not sure, the National Assembly were supposed to get up, institute a medical inquiry. Rather than do that, they decided they were going to institute a process to impeach Lucky again because of my own reading of it.
Which would have made the speaker, the governor, if perhaps anything happened to the governor. So you think that was strategic?
Just in case, yes.
Just in case.
It will get in there.
Yes.
But there's something I will never ever forget, and I don't want Nigerians to forget. And I promise, don't you ever forget this. Ondo State is a very volatile environment. Perhaps like Imo. Okay. They don't agree.
I didn't agree.
When that gets to that, trying to cross the river, the place might burn. And again, it's the reason why I'm talking about the deja vu. It happened during the Omoborio War at Ajasi, and then before the whole place just goes up in flames. I give it. I don't fully support, but I give it to the president who saw this in the horizon, and tried, I think,
to quell the situation,
to stem it from going. And Mr. President is so lucky that the eggheads decided to listen to him. From Lucky himself, someone like a schoolboy out there, allegedly
different times anyway,
sign an undated letter. I don't know whether that is true, whether it's not true. I don't know. So many things flying. And then if the speaker now then said, well, that was the terms of our agreement, you are supposed to have submitted that, and then things started going downhill. Ondo State became a metaphor for what we should not be. What we know, that a moving trailer is accelerating at a very high speed, that is not the time you should risk wanting to take a turn to cross the road. Everything was going to go bad, and Nigeria missed the bullet. Now I use the word Nigeria. President Bola Tinubu missed the bullet. It would have been a terrible bullet, and letters were already flying here and there, and people were already calling that, is this man when I say this man now, I'm talking about Bola Tinubu.
Yes, the president.
Is Nigeria really ready? This guy just come to our backyard to come and look for funds and stuff like that. Is this how he's going to have rope burning and he will be smoking pipes? One thing went into it. Prayer warriors will say that they prayed and all that, but I think we missed this terrible bullet. This terrible bullet that will have sunk us and have taken us backwards in many respects.
Okay, so let's move to River State, because it doesn't quite look like the people of River State missed any bullets right here, because a lot is happening. You're aware about that, about 27 lawmakers defected from PDP from APC. Oh, from PDP to APC. Sometimes, you get to confuse them. And then about 5,000 people decamped from SDP and other parties back to PDP that same yesterday. Some drama happening in River State. As a matter of fact, the People's Democratic Party that same yesterday, Monday, said it would write Independent National Electoral Commission, had already written them, by the way, saying that they should declare the seats of those House of Assembly members that decamped from PDP to APC vacant, because they got their position on. You vote for political parties, remember. You don't vote for individuals. So they got their seats from the PDP. And interestingly, there are footages of the former governor even saying a thing like that why would people, get votes from one place and then want to go to another place at the end of the day. But let's finish that conversation very quickly, and then we'll go back to the soundbite of Wike saying that himself. So that conversation happened in River State. So a total of 27 of them have decamped out of 32 House of Assembly members. So it looks like an in thing. But let me go straight to where the governors, there's complaint about lack of governance in River State as one of the reasons why, these senators decamped. So the All Progressives Congress in turn in River State has claimed that lack of governance in the state is the reason for the defection of 27 members of the State House of Assembly from People's Democratic Party to the APC. Lack of governance. Where there is a governor. So the chairman of APC, River State Caretaker Committee, Tony Okocha, while addressing journalists yesterday, Monday, in Port Harcourt, said some lawmakers in the state confided in him and told him that people like say we don't get government when inside the state, so we could just come out, go where we go get government there, na APC day. So the lawmakers who defected from PDP to APC are those under the faction of course we know, the embattled Speaker of the House, Martins Amehule. By the way, just today, a federal high court in Port Harcourt has declared the other faction of the 4 men, Ehe, as the authentic Speaker of the House. So a lot of drama is going on in River State. But let's quickly take a listen to where Wike was actually talking about those, running from pillar to post in governance. Take a listen, Lagos.
To make a pronouncement. So everybody will have to be careful. You give somebody an umbrella, the next day he defects. EFCC will come, he said, no, let me join them, so EFCC will not be against you. You carry the vote of another party, and you join another party. Can you transfer vote? You work hard for somebody to win the election. Tomorrow the person say, no, I have defected. If you are defecting, leave the seat. If you know it is easy. I'll continue to teach them the game. So everybody will have to be careful. You give somebody an umbrella, and I'll continue to teach them the game. This game, we will know more, and I'll continue to teach them the game.
So, Mr. Akifatuke, do you think that, first of all, this is Wike playing the game very correctly? That's on the one hand. And on the other hand, he did say himself that somebody will come and collect an umbrella today, you give somebody an umbrella, the next day he leaves it and carries broom, that you should leave the position, because he got that position, from the political party. So do you think this is karma coming a bit too early for former governor Nyesom Wike? My governor, by the way. Oh, my former governor, I dare say.
And your president,
my president, FCT minister.
Minister of the FCT. Politics is at play. Was it Lasky that defined politics as who gets what, where, when? And sometimes politicians not just the extra mile, they can even decide to eliminate eliminate you, lie against you, and do so many other things, as long as it is not favoring their line of thoughts. Karma, like you said, of course, karma will always come. The only challenge I have is why karma does not catch these people in such a very bad way. I don't know.
You follow for those who pray that prayer.
You will always find out. You always find out that spiritually, you cannot wield the sword, and the sword does not come back at you. If that sword does not come back at you, then your hands are relatively clean. But if you are in the stable and you two have done so many things by the sword, and the big sword of Damocles now then come, it will just go ahead and kill you. Can you imagine? Promise, for crying out loud, for anybody, for APC to now they say there is no governance in River State.
So are you saying this thing about the sword, by the way, because you think that Wike may likely lose this battle? Is that what you think? Because I see you mention a sword and sword getting back to you and all that. So are you envisaging Wike
when I say sword, Wike is wielding a sword.
Of course.
The people that are perhaps crying now too wielded the sword at one point in time. So now depends on who is going to swing the sword in a terribly bad way. I like your question. Do I think that Wike might lose in this?
I'm actually expecting a yes or no answer anyway. So
it's difficult to say yes or no. I think
because he did say that he knows this game and he will play it. I think we heard him say that.
I think we have a balance of terror.
Okay. He did say balance of terror.
Oh yes.
Oh wow.
We have a balance of terror in.
Oops.
Because we do not have an active citizen participation. It's not for lack of not wanting to participate, but the big men who control, instruments of force, always invariably wins. We have not matured them all crazy to the extent that the citizens' voice will likely be heard. Now, I think the Rivers people are quite determined. I also believe that Wike needed to have slowed down a bit.
A little bit.
I also believe that Fubara himself needed to have been a bit much more discretional.
Okay, so it's too early for all of this.
He who fights and runs away
lives to fight another day.
And Mr. President, like Ondo State, tried to make an attempt.
Wike said that Fubara disobeyed the president and the vice president, and
take it or leave it. Mr. President has no jurisdiction. He has no power, real power. He might try to persuade. Look, hey, wait a minute. Can we do a bit of a consensus? And perhaps, regrettably, Wike kept on talking tough. Fubara is an ingrate. He has done this. He has done that. I had expected Wike to have now played the god role of an elder. The way Wike does with his mouth, and then
are you insinuating he's a bit uncouth?
I'm insinuating that he's a bit loud.
Different from being uncouth. Okay, it's okay. It's fine.
It's loud, and I admire the man, incidentally, but I don't admire his style. I think there is a bit of some insensitivity.
I think that's a bit shrewd
about him.
Or unrefined.
I think unrefined would be a better word to use, but Nigerian politics is unrefined. You cannot be straight in a rough jacket. The Nigerian politics.
But does it have to be that way?
Is terribly rough. But he must now understand something. That sometimes you win. One time, two times, a day is going to come. The falcon will not listen to the falconer. And like Abacha, you might just sleep and not wake up. this era of want to play God, forgetting, look in the Acton way, power corrupting absolutely and incorruptibly, forgetting the fact that you did a few things that I know Fubara has done. You got away with it.
Do you think Fubara has done anything?
According to...
Close to what Wike did?
According to...
Okay.
Wike.
Okay.
Wike says, I put you there, I pulled you from nowhere, and...
But he did. He even bought tickets for them. Just like he didn't state if it was with state fund or his personal fund. He said that. So it was as if power was given to Fubara on a platter because he didn't work for it. He didn't even speak to Rivers people during the campaign. It was that bad.
Wike also had it coming to him by few backstabbing, by few sliding tackle here and there, and was able to make it. And then, of course, and he had the federal might of Jonathan, Mrs. Jonathan, kind of supporting him. Yes, he went from the grassroots, from the ward up to the level that he got into. My look at the bigger picture is 2027. I am of the opinion that President Bola Tinubu has earmarked Rivers State as one of the key catchment states that must not go to the opposition.
Okay.
The others will be Lagos and Kano. And he's most likely behind the scene wanting to support Wike.
You think that's what's giving him the,
And in supporting him, Mr. President needs to be extremely careful. Also, remember that there was an Abacha that slept.
That did not wake up. Now, talking about support, I have a sound bite of, different groups drumming support for different people. But basically, we've seen a lot of groups now come out in Rivers State en masse to drum support for the governor. Let's take a listen to them talk a little bit.
It's a collaboration. Also, the Ijeoma Youth Movement are here supporting our honorable governor, a governor for all tribes. He's a determined leader. He's for the problems. He's for the problems. He's for the problems. It's for all the lemons, the Yorubas, the courage. He's a father for all. My soul. No SIM card. No SIM card. No SIM card. No SIM. My soul.
Show our solidarity to the governor of Rivers State.
Yes.
My name is Dr. Legbosin Yamabana. I'm the President General of Ogoni Youth Federation. Together with me is the chairman of the Ijeoma Youth Council, Eastern Zone. Together with leadership from the 7 local government areas that makes up Rivers Southeast Senatorial District. That is the senatorial district of the governor. And we are here in solidarity in our numbers to jointly say that we are standing by the governor.
Yes.
So jointly say that the mandate that has been freely given to the governor cannot be usurped. So jointly say that we are not just coming here for the coming sake, but we are here to ensure that no detractor distracts the governor from implementing his promises to Rivers people. The simple promise agenda of the governor must be allowed to be implemented. Yes. We are also here in one accord to say that if there is no SIM, there will be no Rivers State. Yes. In these next 4 years. Yes. We are here to say no to any unholy and unscrupulous plan to unlawfully impeach the governor.
So exactly, you heard that. So this is gradually tilting towards an ethnic war in Rivers State. You heard where the speaker spoke about the Joy Youth Council, the Ogonis, the Opobon Koro, and Donny local government, some local governments that came together to support the governor, and so many other people. So do you think that this is about people coming out en masse to support the governor, or people just not wanting to see Wike prevail?
People not wanting to see Wike prevail. One.
Oh, that's it. Why would it be so though? Because he was a darling. He was a Rivers darling just a while ago when he was saying power must come to the south. What did he do wrong? What did he get it wrong?
Overreaching himself.
Oh, okay.
And he needs to put on his thinking cap.
Okay.
And emotional intelligence.
So he's overbearing right now?
I will draw a parallel.
Okay.
The person he's reporting to right now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was nearly going to be in this situation after Raji Fashola's first term. He is the Baba Sokwe that is talking.
Yes, now. So Baba must Sokwe before.
And he was not going to allow Raji Fashola a second term. But Raji Fashola was a technocrat and he was performing. And I know for a fact, like Fubara, Raji Fashola was picked from nowhere to be somewhere.
So that gave him the right to want to say that, you know what, I don't want you anymore too, right?
I don't want you anymore. You cannot overperform. Over the God.
So now rubbish me.
And I try to now turn himself to God. I know this because I know back in the days in the 90s, then in ExxonMobil, the Fasholas of this world are called so many people that I think Bola Tinubu has paid come looking for him at that time. Bola Tinubu even not envisaging he was going to be in politics. He was just an SDP man supporting MK Abiola. But he got to a stage, and now President, then Governor Tinubu, former Governor Tinubu, realized the fact that the rug was going to be pulled under his feet, because the people were going to stand up and say, look, do whatever it is, we are going to stand behind Moshola. And that will have taken the cap of the godfather of Ambode. Nearly did that also.
But it didn't quite work.
It didn't quite work because it was not pulled down the line. Now, the point I'm trying to make is the political wizardry, like it or not, of Bola Tinubu came to play. He knew
that if he continued,
stop.
Okay.
I hope
Wike
will learn from that grandmaster. It cannot be a gragra. Okay. My advice will be try your possible best, do your sabu rattle, shout, do all that kind of thing. I got to come at a point where Wike will have to calm down and step down, embrace his estranged godson, and find a way around it. That would be the way I'm looking at it. The other would now then to do things by force. No, just go there and go and rampage and stuff like that. But don't forget, the people will naturally, I made the statement earlier that people, they just don't want to hear Wike. You are too much of you are a behemoth now. We can't, don't come and dictate to us, come and do this and stuff like that. All the goodwill that he has had cannot be frittered away.
He may lose them. All right.
It is not unlikely that he will use, if he does not employ emotional intelligence here. That will be what I'm going to be prescribing. Okay. Promise, look at Kanu.
Precious, actually.
Precious.
I've been listening to you call me Promise, but it's okay.
I think
she's my second, so it's fine.
I think you're a lady of promise anyway. So, I mean,
Thank you.
Precious.
Sir.
See what is happening in Kano. Ganduje.
The case is in ECOWAS court right now.
And Kwakwaso is stalemate that if you don't handle very tactfully,
May through Kano State.
will be a cauldron that will throw Nigeria beyond Kano State. So, sagacity. And if President Bola Tinubu can allegedly, true or false, been able to navigate through the landmines to allow us to get to where we are at in Ondo State, I think he has a lot of work to do on Wike.
Okay.
And I hope Wike will.
Wike Sha. You know, some of us will have coconut head. All right. Okay, so let's move quickly to the next story. We may not be able to dissect all of our conversation for the want of time, right? Okay. So let's move on. In the aftermath of the recent accidental military strike on Tundumbiri village in the Gabi local government area of Kaduna State, the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, PDP, had called for an investigation into the bombing incident. He also urged the federal government to allocate sufficient funding to the military and other security agencies to enhance their operational efficiency. Now, Obi conveyed this message during his visit to the victims themselves at the Barao Diko Teaching Hospital in state capital. That is the state capital of Kaduna State, Tuesday. Expressing concern, he noted that the nation has experienced 16 accidental military bombings, 16 of them, and resulting so far to about 500 fatalities, and that is 500 casualties. Yet, no decisive action has been taken by federal government to prevent the reoccurrence of such tragedies. And he said that that is totally unacceptable. The former governor of Anambra stressed the need for the government to provide robust support for the people, the victims of this incident. Let's take a listen to him, and then we'll get back to reactions that follow that. Take a listen.
Thank the hospital management led by Prof here for what they are doing. You know, I thank the government of Kaduna State for what he said they are doing to support the victims. Their response is what it should be, and I urge everybody to get involved. So I believe the right things are being done as far as regards the hospital, what the hospital management is doing. I thank all the staffs of the hospital, thank the nurses, everybody that is helping from what I saw. This is about, I think, the 16th time, and we have a 16th time. Let me first appreciate the hard work and the effort of the military in helping us to secure the country. But then we should also re-examine and ask ourselves this fundamental question about this reoccurrence where we have 16 times and we have lost almost 500 people. Why is this happening and everything? And be able to see how, as a government in particular, we can support the military to ensure that these things don't happen. Important. We're talking about, we're family. This thing that happened might have happened somewhere where we think we're not from, but we're all family. We're the same thing. And I've always said the purpose of government is to care for those in need and the poor. For me, what is more important is to ensure that it does not occur again by making sure that the right things are done by the military, by everything, to be more precise in what they are doing. If they're not precise, maybe take caution and be prepared. Two, to ensure that we provide the right amenities. The visit today is private and everything, but we have to do things to support them. First is that I have to make a personal little contribution of 3 million naira to support the effort of the doctors. But I have to look in at the doctor. Prof told me he has 1,000 workers in this hospital because they're very critical. You can't talk about healthcare unless there's a staff, and the staff are critical. I know they are big people, so I will buy them at least a bottle of Coke each. So I'm going to give Prof 1 million to be able to buy the staffs. 1,000 of them at 1,000 for Coke will be 1 million naira. So I'm going to make that contribution to him because it's important. See, no, so 4 million naira. And of course, there's other ancillary things. So I'll be making a donation of about 5 million naira.
So that was the presidential candidate of the Labour Party there. But in a quick, in another development, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said yesterday that the accidental airstrike that killed at least 106 people, injured scores in Tundumbiri village must be treated as a tragic event that is designed by God. He said this when he paid a visit to the Sheikh of Borno yesterday. Quoting him, he says, "My purpose is to condole the entire country through the army on the loss of life in Kaduna. It's tragic." That's what Mr. President said during his visit to the Sheikh of Borno. But quoting him further, he says, "But as people of faith and people who believe in this country, importantly, faith, death through Maulud Nabiri in Shahada, we must take that one as a tragic event designed by God." So he said. So people are now saying that, okay, the president is saying that, first of all, people had an issue with the president not visiting Kaduna State, the scene of the incident or the state of the incident, and not even going to the hospital to visit the victims of this incident, but rather going to the Sheikh of Borno State, to visit the Sheikh of Borno, and then making this comment, and then people are not saying, oh, is P2P being political on the other hand, knowing that the president had done this today. Now, tomorrow, the next day, you now went to visit the victims proper and now made your personal donation to them. Are you trying to, woo public sympathy? I don't know. Do you think this is political? You think it's a political move, by the way, by P2P?
Everything is politics. Unfortunately, we should not be dancing Alonso on the grave of such mishaps. I think a lot of politics is coming into it. I like the sound bites from Peter Obi. After all, if the shoe were to be on the other on another feet, that's exactly what you are going to see. When Jonathan went to Kano after the Buniyadi massacre and the Chibok girls?
The Chibok girls
and then
in Borno State.
Bola Tinubu and his group are saying this is the most insensate thing for anybody to do. So
could that be why he did not go to this place?
Politicians know, okay, you haven't done this, so let me find a way of doing that. I agree that he should have, but his deputy, his vice president was there, made a lot of promises, and
would it have been better he had gone there than going to Borno State? That's the question, because that's what people are saying.
Okay, all right.
Because why go to Borno State? Nothing happened there. People didn't die there, as it were. We know they're facing their own, the holy security issue there. But this is where people were tragically killed by the same people who are supposed to protect their lives. Shouldn't that have been more important than going to Borno State?
He was in Borno State for another altruistic
we understand
reason, and then using...
Was that reason more important than the lives of people who were lost in such a tragic situation?
Certainly not.
That's the point.
Certainly not. But see, I am a bit careful. Okay? I am a bit careful.
And I rest my case.
And why I'm saying I'm going to be a bit careful is if I've delegated.
Okay.
And my delegation is already working the issues. Is that saying that if I had to be in his shoes, what will I have done? Certainly, coming down from the plane, from the COP28 jamboree that you went for, which I still feel is a jamboree that was not well appointed. Nice thing, but you came back. The first place you should have gone to should have been the victims, Barau Diko Hospital. Certainly and definitely. But his vice president had gone maybe on that same day or a day after. One needs to maybe cut a bit of a slack. There'll be some security concerns here and there. I mean, if somebody is already doing what I need to do, what was flippant was for him to have now begin to now then anywhere he was to now be talking about.
So it's an act of God?
No, it's not an act of God. I know we are over religious in this part of the world, but we need to be precise. I agree with Peter Obi. We need to be properly trained. I agree with Peter Obi. I disagreed with Peter Obi when he now started the statistics and said 16. I don't know.
That's actually correct.
Some people are saying 13. Some people are
13, 15 about, but not far from 16. I would get that statistics correct.
Where I have a challenge is where was Peter Obi where this was happening in a government that he participated fully. We had like similar bombings during Jonathan's time. You see, I don't want to get into the murky area of politics and politicking and all that. I mean, during Jonathan's time and his time, they believed that we should not continue to maintain these moderate subsidies things. Bola Tinubu and co looked at the downside of that and then started playing the Pontius Pilate. And now the shoe is on the other foot. For me, I think giving 1 million naira for one cook to doctors and fear, it's okay, but it's scratching the surface. What I thought I was going to find more is for Labour Party, PDP or the opposition to not then say no, never. Can we find a way around? Just pick one or two, even if you are not picking this one, where we have had this call it accidental discharge or deliberate discharge, to go and put up a memento there. A state-of-art hospital, an educational institution there, or something like that. I will be looking for all those. But you see, in this era of politics, you take this little bit here, you take little bits out there. Some people are already even reading the religious tone into it. Who is the head of the army at the time that this is happening? That it must be some kind of ethnic cleansing and what have you. We need to be very, very careful. We are talking about Nigerian armed forces. They could not have been perfect. They need a lot of training. They have also been bedeviled by wanton, what I describe as wanton corruption. They have also lost their lives. But I think I agree with Mr. Peter Obi. The next best time to do what is right is now. Can we begin to be much more precise? Can we begin to do a lot of simulation? Can we begin a situation where, if as in this accidental discharge happened, say for instance in the East, it will not be seen as a deliberate thing that was done so deliberately. We had an OD massacre perpetrated by Yoruba against the South. So, point is, let's play a little down on the politics. Let's go more on compassion. On this particular incident, I score Peter Obi a whooping 35%, while I score Mr. President 15%.
Away. You must be a very somehow lecturer. All right, Lagos, let me quickly open the phone lines, but people are itching to jumping on the conversation. So I did fact check that. Some reports are saying that so far it's about 425 persons that have been killed in accidental airstrikes between 2017 till date, by the way. So yes, 0700 Lagos 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 9039. These are the numbers to call. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions. We do not have time anymore. If you want to call the WhatsApp line, it is 0700 903 9039. That's the WhatsApp line, right? But the direct line is 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening, Doctor.
Sir?
Good evening to your guest.
He can hear you. Good evening, welcome. Go ahead.
Good evening.
Okay, my name is Moses from Elasa Maja.
Moses, go ahead. Very quickly, go ahead.
Yes, I want to little bit disagree with your guest.
Okay.
Say that where were Peter Obi that he participated in the Jonathan government. Peter Obi was not the president then. Peter Obi was not Minister of Defense. How do you expect Peter Obi to visit where there was bombing in the north then? Even though being 35% I played politics, I think just want to play some politics statements here.
Okay.
You know, Obi have done well. Visiting them, encouraging them. You know, when something happens, when people see you talking to them, encouraging them, telling them that there is hope, this and that, I think that will go a long way to pacify
Thank you.
So
Thank
please,
you.
I disagree with your guest.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening. My name is Jonathan. I'm calling from London.
Jonathan, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Okay, let me good evening. Let me greet your guest. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So, your guest is a good. You bring a good examiner. I concur with the score.
Why are you like this now? So you're the people that used to like all these lecturers and be stingy with marks, Abi? Go ahead.
And one more thing is that Peter Obi is not the only presidential candidate. Peter Obi, we have other presidential candidates in the just concluded election.
Okay.
So Peter Obi has done well in his own capacity as a nationalist. Let me put it in that way. Yes, as his own private platform. And sir, I want to put one thing straight. In 2014, during the national conference, APC refused to join that conference. They said they will not be part of it. So I just want to put things side by side with this present situation. Thank you very much, sir.
So talking about the national conference, thank you so much, Jonathan. Speaking about national conference, as much as they did not join, remember that APC also campaigned that they would give us, that they would that there will be what do they call it now? Reform. What is that word? Please give me the word.
On petroleum?
No. Reform. What do we call reforming Nigeria now? Restructure. That will restructure Nigeria.
Not only did they say they are going to restructure Nigeria.
Remember that Erofo at some point was even the chairman of the restructuring committee.
They had a blueprint.
Exactly.
For restructure.
But then Governor Buhari, President Buhari, when he took over power, now said that some people are asking him where the paper for confab is and what they promise about restructuring, but that he thinks that he's thrown away the paper to the dustbin where it rightfully belongs. So do you think that APC too deceived us and play politics with us? We're restructuring.
Not only is it that they play politics, they play politricks.
Okay.
So all of them are like five fingers, like.
Okay, bread and butter. All right, let's move on to more calls. Hello, good evening to you.
Yeah,
Sam.
Good evening, and good evening to your guest in the studio.
We can hear you.
Good evening.
Yeah. I remain Prince, and calling from California.
I think we're one of the people that have.
One thing I just, with the guest is I cannot disagree with him when he talks about the fact that Shetima represented, so the president does not need to be there. In US, whenever we have a mass shooting, the president always go there, no matter what. He goes there, okay? And he will not say because Kamala Harris went there, he will not go there. They all go, they do that. Or even when there is a national a natural disaster, they also go there. So empathizing with people doesn't mean you have to go to another state and say, oh, it's the art of God. It is not the art of God. We should stop using religions. In as much as you agree with me, religions have played a big role in our nation, and it's a wrong thing for people to do. Anything that happens, oh, it's God, everything God. I just leave it like that. And then also for me, I'm kind of like seeing a blueprint saying that P2B is gonna go to PDP. For me, I support that. If he has to go, let him go there. That would be better. As long as Wike is out of that party, I want P2B to go back to PDP. Thank you.
Did Wike tip your bread? Why are you doing like this now? Okay, so let me run through some messages. I have loads of them though. This is good evening VOP. I respect the River State fracas between Fubara and Wike. I think it's time for Wike to be disgraced politically. Why? My question is this the will of an individual that is supreme in a democratic society, or that of the electorate? He said all of the democratic things happening in Nigeria and the River State in particular is laid at the doorstep of the biased judiciary. Oh, well, coupled with self-centered. When you said from Agege said a lot. And then I moved to more messages here. This says, good evening, Precious. Why do you think they are deceiving? Who do they think they are deceiving when they said the reason why they ported to APC was lack of governance in River State? We all know it's anywhere bele-face democracy, and that is what they are all practicing in Nigeria. Our democracy doesn't have definition. The state lawmakers in River State have sworn oaths of allegiance to Wike. Whatever Wike says binds on them. He said a lot. Adegboyega sent him that message. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello.
Yes, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, Precious. My name is Joy Musa. I'm calling from Alimosho.
Joy, go ahead. Let's hear.
Yes, Precious. P2B has tried. But the only thing I'm begging government for is this money that they are donating, let it reach the people that this thing affects. Because there is how Jonathan came to a hospital in Abuja when I was affected by this same Boko Haram by bomb. So my husband have this gunshot. The money didn't reach you. They didn't treat me. Government didn't treat me. Now they different television station, radio station everywhere. They never treat me up to today. Up to now. They never support my survival children up to now. I'm still on ground. I don't work with my legs. Yes, today, up to now, I live in Alumocho better. Pressure, you can send somebody to come and see my condition up to today.
Joy, I know you. Joy Musa, I know you. And I have been in a radio station that already intervened in your matter before. You do know that I'm not a kid in broadcasting, right? I know you. And I know about your case. And I do know that you've gotten intervention from people before now, individuals. I know that. I've been in a station that got you, intervention before too. You remember? You may not know me, but I know you. I empathize with your situation, but let's just go ahead. Let's finalize, please.
Let this money reach the agency, because the money never reached me. I did my 3 times operation with the help of Good Nigeria up to now.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I know how Good Nigerians reach out to you through media houses. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because let the money reach those people, not that they will donate after. They will not even reach those people. I'm Precious. Remember me in your rights. Remember me, Precious. Remember me.
You didn't need to remind me before.
Remember me. Remember me. Let them treat them, because there is God. Let the money reach those people. There is God. Everybody will buy one thing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. And then this message here says, good evening, Precious. The bombing in Kaduna is not an excuse, as the military is supposed to confirm the enemy target before firing rockets. This is not the first time or second time this mistake has happened, and there have been no consequences for their action. Boko Haram, they kill civilian military what you said a lot. That's what you're saying. So that's the thing. It looks like nobody takes the fall when things happen in Nigeria. Shouldn't someone take responsibility? Because in saner climes, someone ought to have taken responsibility. I remember clearly the case that is still burning my heart. The case of bad fuel that was imported to the country last year. Till today, no one single person from the NNPC, the sole importers of fuel, took responsibility for that action. That action knocked lots of car engines. Does it mean that if things like this happen in Nigeria, nobody just takes the fall? I mean, because it's a garbage in, garbage out situation?
I think, in fairness, it does not matter to people who agree or disagree. Somebody has taken responsibility. for what happened. I believe the army SARS, they were there, they apologized, and they took responsibility immediately. And does that now then say that that should be on and all? The president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the buck stops on his table. He knows.
Shouldn't somebody lose his job? That's the question. That's what people are asking. Yes, it's an accident. But for such level of ineptitude or mistake, someone should take the fall.
People should lose their jobs. I do not disagree.
Okay.
But can we go through that process of doing the investigation? Are we saying that 13 or 9 or 8 that happened before now, investigations were not carried, and then people went away with either being court-martialed? Hey, like I always say, the next best time now is what happens today. Somebody was talking about the fact that Peter Obi was not the president of Nigeria.
Yes.
Professor Akunyili was not the president of Nigeria when she did the right thing. And legacy still stands on it. I am not in any way trying to absolve Mr. President in the way this is being handled. But look, I'll just say, let's be careful. Let's look at the process of doing the investigation. If the investigation does not come out like we had in times past, then we can begin to raise eyebrows. For now, what Musa seems to be saying, I'm happy that you countered it. At the end of the day, can we have something much more solid? Not 1 million to buy Coke and all that. I'm not saying that's not okay. I see elements of politics in there. Pure and simple. I want a situation where those who are remote, there are quite a number of people that will not be accounted for because we don't have the data print to count them. Let's go straight in there and go and see how we can support those people. You spoke about the contaminated fuel. The first contaminated fuel issue, I was in the middle of it. I was not in government. I was not part of it. And I used to work in ExxonMobil. And I knew the people that were responsible, but I kept my peace. They were going to tear me into pieces. But yes, that's the truth. It's on record. And then there was going to be a lot of hush-hush. I said, no, this is not done. I was at the center of DPR at that time, and I was the one that was writing, and they were saying, no, you should not accept this. No. Something has happened, and we must take responsibility. My company at that time was arranged. The only joy, which is the legacy I have, was that a lady, a European, has been staying in Nigeria since 1958. She could not understand why it would be Mobile that would have brought contaminated fuel. We didn't bring the contaminated. We knew the people that brought the contaminated fuel. We insisted that people have to be compensated. At the end of the process, the newspaper had gone out there and they had said that the Mobile was the one and all that kind of stuff, because we didn't go through those normal process. It wasn't for me to say no. And I said, look, wait for the right time. Those who waited for the right time got compensated. At the end of the day, they got some compensation. Like now, we are still talking about compensation for the victims that happened in Kaduna. Mr. President ought to have done more than what the vice president did, by way of promising that they were going to initiate some of the, make sure that they release greens, they release a lot of support while progress is going on. That is what he should have done. And because he didn't do that as the chief samurai, naturally, people will find fault. But can we give it a little bit of more time and see that we don't continue to do things the wrong way and expecting a different result? And so that a Musa will not then come and say, I've not gotten the thing. Because some of the coke that we are distributing now may not even get to the victims. I think we should be
and if you mention the name again, you pay for adverts.
We must be very focused. We must be very direct. Okay. We must decide, just like the palliatives thing.
Okay, exactly.
You get palliative. I don't get palliative. I will not be happy. Okay, maybe you are going to be happy. Maybe mine, you've taken. Sorry, it should be the other way around. I've taken yours and all that. Can we look for something much more solid,
tangible, more solid? Not
only tangible, much more sustainable that will benefit a whole lot of people rather than some of the things that we do and all that kind of stuff.
Hello, good evening to you. Good evening. I can't hear you properly. Your audio is bad. Good evening.
My name is
Unfortunately, I can't hear you very well. Kindly try to call me back. Let me go back to my messages. So over there on YouTube, I have lots of reactions. Chuka says, good evening, Precious. Our YouTube can be on fire. Thank you. Fisa Magic Good evening says, good evening, Precious. I expect Governor Dolu to have transferred power back to his deputy. Him being a son should have known that. The law said, I wish him soonest recovery health. It's important. And then D to 12 Carbon says, the defense minister Wike raised to secure himself has now turned into his own prison. Wait, are you serious? Okay, the defense mechanism Wike raised to protect him has now turned More of prestige. A man of prestige says the human cost of bad governance is evident in the low level of basic infrastructure, weak healthcare and educational system, high unemployment, and the number of out-of-school children, amongst others. And going by what he said, do you still think that Peter Obi's contribution, giving 3 million naira to the victims, that money will go a long way? Each of them may even get as much as 50,000 naira, depending on the number of them that are in that hospital at that time. Remember that the drink money that we are talking about is for the hospital staff, those taking care of them. Just something to make them feel, warm for doing their job. But he gave a whopping 3 million for the victims in that hospital.
4 million.
Yeah, 4 million generally.
Okay, right.
So are you saying that that's nothing at all?
No, it's something.
So but you're saying that would have looked to something more tangible?
Yes, I still insist.
So you're saying 4 million is not something for somebody who is a private citizen?
Is something.
And shouldn't be commended?
Commended?
Why shouldn't he be commended?
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
It's something, it should be commended, but I'm saying that from my experience of things this way, there are things that needs to be done much more solid. So if Peter Obi does 4 million, Atiku does 4 million, and do whatever.
So he's done his part. The rest should do their part.
That's why I gave him 35%. I won't give him 50%.
That's an F.
I will give him 35%.
Okay.
Because I know I've been with donor agencies in this country and I know how it goes. We could do a bit much more. We could pull together. Peter Obi should not be doing his own politics LP. Somebody said that the two of them can come together. Yes.
So do you think that his gesture would not even actually encourage others to come forth? And by the time you have 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 people, contributing. Remember that senators already gave 109 million naira, 1 million each from their salary, which they claimed was their December salary. But we all know that the salaries are more than a million naira per month. So
I'm not saying I'm not thanking them, but I am saying not just is it too little, does not get to the root of where we should be going. Like I said, I think whether the senators, whether Peter Obi himself, who I know personally, okay, I believe he can do more. I believe Peter Obi can pull within the Labour Party a lot of synergy beyond the 3 million that we are talking about. That is the point I'm making, and I have my reasons for saying what I'm saying. And I have also said,
coming from there ought to be more.
It ought to be more. You have to be much more synergistic.
Okay.
Likewise, I know the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, some of the low-hanging fruits that he ought to have done, he didn't do, was awful. Terribly awful. We play the kind of politics we play in this country at people's demerits. I don't know. We spend a lot of time in church, in mosque, and in shrines. I know what. Okay, don't let me mention names. I know what those individuals will give to their shrines and their churches. I know.
Away. All right.
Come on.
So let me go back to my calls. Phone lines are still open. Lagos 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903. Loads of WhatsApp messages waiting for us. Big size from Ijani King says, "Good evening, precious and powerful guest in the studio." Powerful. Did you hear that?
But
powerful.
If it's a lady, she has just toasted me.
It's okay. Whether it's a lady or
no, toasted me in a negative way.
Oh, stop it now.
I'm telling you.
Is this like your stop it?
What is powerful in what we are saying?
Hey, that's your powerful, like you're full of content. Oh, stop it, Joe.
Content.
So he now says, I wish to say here that Wike is gradually losing his respect in River State. His approach is too brutal and primitive with no consideration to the citizens. He has already failed. If he does not make a U-turn, it is going to be very disgraceful. Going back now, this says in 1884, in Berlin, where Europeans shared Africans among the Europeans. Ever since then, instead of African leaders to think out of the box and liberate themselves, they keep giving Europeans and the rest of the world reasons to believe that Africans are still backwards and cannot rule themselves.
Partition of Africa, yes, exactly.
Governor of Ondo, President Tinubu and Nyesom Wike are typical examples of this particular practice. Their actions and that of many politicians in Africa keep making the world see Africa as backward and incapable of decency or decent democracy.
Some people even think it's a shithole.
Oh, don't say that. That former president, that time he's contesting again, maybe the next president of that place. He said we aren't expecting democracy, rather we're practicing my tonocracy. That's what he said. Ebuka sent in this from Isolo, by the way. And then he says, good evening, precious on your guys. My president was in Ondo State for Nigerian Army Annual Conference and later visited we know that he went there for an event. We do know.
But you should not have said that it's an act of God.
And some people are saying that he was in the north generally. The chopper to carry him from Kaduna to Borno, go past how many days. He can stop there and stop there again.
Even if he doesn't stop, he needs to watch his sensitivity. It's not an act of God. But let me tell you something. I schooled in the north, and then asked the average Muslim what they say is, if no matter what happens to you, it's an act of God. You say it's the will of God, yes. You are in a country where you have to watch what you don't have to say it's an act of God. It was deliberate mistake, misstep and miscalculation. Going to bomb,
and God has not inside that at all.
God has not.
We could not blame God.
I know whose hands are there. Yes.
You see other people's hands inside.
Yes. They are politicians.
Wait.
They are non-state actors.
Are you insinuating that this is deliberate? Because considering the fact that Dele Alake is saying right now, he just said it today, that banditry, kidnapping, and insurgency in Nigeria are fueled and sponsored by powerful people.
Yes, and Abacha said so too.
So
Abacha is going
since. Are you insinuating that this has anything to do? There is monkey hand we get head on inside soup.
Can we see the end result of this investigation? I am very, very sure.
Now after rewind, now
I am very, very, very sure. I am very, very, very sure. People that you do not expect, their hands are there. Even within the military itself, we hear so many funny things that happen. Remember the putsch that was the soldiers were going to go against some of their generals.
Okay. All right. So I have a few questions.
Have you heard of the general that is having some billions of
property in the UK? Did you hear the one about 1 million plus property in the US? Well, let's go.
I know what I'm saying.
Okay. This is Precious. Please ask your guest how much he is personally donate. How much you have personally donated as a private citizen that you're blaming P2B for your donation. How much you don't give for your money?
In 2005, you can ask the then Minister of State for Defense is Jide Obanikoro. I was there physically in Abacha Barracks where we held against the dictates of my company. They said I should not go. And I said, look, I'm a Nigerian. Americans didn't want me to go there. I said, I will go and I'll come back, like David. So I went there. I was in Maiduguri at the point when it was alleged that my company was smuggling. It was in the newspaper. Please go do a bit of research about me. I have not only done that, And then finally, there is a lady from the north that I assisted and brought to the to the fore, was sponsored out of this country.
By you?
True. It would not have happened if I didn't bring her out.
Okay.
So I brought her out and they said, no, how is this possible? Do you know what's happened? She went outside this country. She did so well. So there are some of the little things. You see, little things, including what Peter Obi has done. I am saying we should just synergize. We have more and more people of goodwill to do the same thing. Not again. I still keep on saying that we play a lot of politics with it. Thank you, I've said. But I know we can do more. I know that we can do more.
All right, let me run through my messages because lots of messages. Precious on fire, 5 million today. It'll be more. Your guest should share 5 million to fans in VOP. Make it just a good one for body. Why hold Peter Obi accountable for the failure of the elected officials to care for your citizens? The security and welfare of people should be primary purpose of government. In fact, everybody seems to be coming on you for that particular comment. And then this says, sorry, my name is Baba Adoga. It says, I put it to him that he did not have the interest of the country. He has the interest of the country. What is meeting that he cannot come back when accident happened? E.g., let's talking about the president. He ought to have been more concerned about the victims. And then this is Precious. Good evening. My name is Jonathan from Kaduna. Peter Obi has done extremely well. The same mistaken bombing took place in Ran in Borno State in 2017, and Buhari never went there, and even the vice never also went there. Besides, over 10,000 soldiers have died in Borno, and yet no one has said anything. Even after 35 years of service, those soldiers, there is nothing to show for it. But senators are giving 160 million for just one jeep, just 1 year with a war rule. 160 million.
Promise, can I ask?
Precious.
Precious.
It's okay, sir.
Can I ask?
It's okay.
There was a flood disaster some time ago.
It's not some time ago, it was just last year.
And Bola Tinubu,
yes,
not only visited and donated.
But others donated. Peter Obi also donated and visited too at the same time. In fact, Peter Obi was the first to visit and donate, remember? That was during the campaign season.
You see, I don't want us to throw this into, well, you can do it better.
Okay. It's okay.
I just, the point I'm making, I have commended Peter Obi for what he did. But all I am saying, that the Peter Obi I know
could do more,
could have pulled more. We could have pulled more, and that's the point I'm making. I know that if people don't understand that, well, it's a pity, but he could have pulled more. And I know by just tarrying a little bit and calling for others, using his network and goodwill, we won't be talking about one coke for doctors. We'll be talking about going into the hinterland to make sure we. Two wrongs don't make it right. I agree. I have said that.
I am going to send you the YouTube link so that you go and watch. Read the live chats from YouTube. They are coming for you, bumper to bumper.
I am used to it.
Okay.
I am used to it. So it does not matter whether you come for me or not.
Okay.
Truth is very, very bitter.
Okay.
I am saying,
okay,
all of us, including those who are throwing that at me, there are things that we need to do. You are doing your bit. I'm here in your studio making this response. We could do it better. But I am a processed person. I want to make sure that I see that we don't allow the innocents to suffer. Let's see who we are going to be picking out as being the culprit, who is not obeyed the things that needs to be obeyed, those who did the wrong thing that should also be punished, and most importantly, those who should be compensated not with coke. I'm sorry, I still insist. Those who should be compensated from the wealth that I know we have. All right?
Okay.
Should be done more.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. My guest this evening has been Mr. Aki Fatunke. He's in case you're wondering why he's stingy with marks and stingy with remarks, he's an accountant. You know what they say about an accountant? Don't quote me. I didn't say that. Is it true though? Let me ask about this on air. Is it true that you accountants are very stingy? Is that correct?
Accountants look at what you have, help to conserve your resource, make sure you cut your coat according to your cloth,
okay,
and make sure that You don't take the little you have and begin to spend it just anyhow. You see what the politicians are doing.
What your mindset?
You saw what APC seems to be doing wrong. PDP wrong. LP itself wrong. NNPP wrong. We are all in this kind of
wrong quagmire.
So
how do we get out of it?
We begin to play the politics. I can play it better than you. And we need to have a change of mind. We need the change of a mindset that is conscious of the fact that others before us. Very, very, very important. So, my greetings to the
YouTube people.
To the YouTube.
Don't worry, I'll send you the link so you go and greet them.
I pray for you. I pray that you don't. You don't be at the receiving end of the Nigerian misdeed. The Nigerian misdeed is doing so many negative things to all of us, and we must all rise up in unison against all these politicians who are five fingers of the same leprous hand. Anyway.
Okay. All right. So I usually have a step down conversation on this show. Unfortunately, it came out a day that, but I'll let Lagos know if we're having the step down conversation or not. Lagos, phone lines are still open, and of course, I see your messages, your reactions, your calls. The phone lines are buzzing. My phone lines are always on fire on this show. But you know what? I'll get back to you on it. Let me take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to the step down conversation, and then I see if I can quickly gloss through your messages. This is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM, and it's still your girl, Precious. I'll be right back.
Hosanna! It is your season of joy and celebration. Come and experience the God of Nation Builders for a change of story at the 2023 Annual Convention and Christmas Concert. Christ Holy Church International, aka Nation Builders, Odozi Obodo, invites you to a glorious encounter with the Lord. Theme, but the Lord is faithful. 2 Thessalonians 3 verse 3. God shall heal the sick, the oppressed shall be delivered, the captives set free, and all round fruitfulness. Date, Wednesday, 13th December 2023. Time, 10 a.m. Convention service and 4 p.m. Christmas concert. Venue, Christ Holy Church International, Central Cathedral, Ndoni, River State. Ministry, His Eminence, the Most Reverend Dr. Daniel Oko, General Superintendent, Christ Holy Church International, and President, Christian Association of Nigeria. Come, let us celebrate God's faithfulness. Jesus is Lord.
Are you looking for the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your everyday need is met. We also offer complimentary pickup and drop-off from the Lagos Airport.
Take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant.
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So, why wait? Book your stay today and experience ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort. The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and cold berry ice cream. Delight in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and cold berry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town, 28 at Denira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and cold berry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
Lagos, you are welcome back. It is still 90.3 Voice of the People FM, 25 minutes pursuing the 9 p.m. mark right here in our studio, 4th floor of the Golden Tele Portal along Airport Road, Lagos, Nigeria. My name is still Precious and it's still the evening rush. And so we have been discussing quite a couple of stuff, and you people have been coming for my guest, Mr. Akefatuke, like bumper to bumper. You guys take it easy here. So I did tell you, in case you're just tuning in, that Akeredolu returns to Germany. Aida Tiwa steps in. And then we also did hear that, 18 pupils hospitalized after eating a Osun-free meal. Government begins probe on that. We also did tell you that Rivers crisis, PDP moves to replace 27 pro-Wiki Assembly defectors. We did tell you that Nigerians must take Tundumbiri bombing that killed 126 civilians as tragic event designed by God. So says President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And yes, we also did tell you that... about that organ harvesting, I'll look for a day to talk about it, because we hear that victims of the organ harvesting are now suing Alliance Hospital 700 million naira in compensation. There's this organ harvesting or organ racketeering going on in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. We hear that you Nigerians are facing naira scarcity, as Nigerians are groaning over persistent naira scarcity. I wish I had the time to ask Mr. Akin about it, but unfortunately I didn't have that time. And then, River State APC, or the lawmakers who defected, are saying that, it's because of the lack of governance in River State. Governance no day. I make we defect. And then, he also did hear people, Ohanese coming for Bodijo and saying that, wait till you talk. In fact, they are lambasting him over the anti-Igbo comment. You may have to go read that up. And then, yes, there's an exclusive about Akeredolu's son requesting for an air ambulance to airlift Akeredolu to Germany for treatment. And yes, quite a couple of stuff that we've looked in on this evening. But before I continue taking your messages, I have a guest in the studio. So, yes, I saw a message here that did really, really interest me. Let me see if I can quickly look for it. That's man. There's somebody on YouTube who made a comment. I think I'll start with that. So Tech Test says, Precious, my wife, we never pay bride price for. He said, how are you doing? Thanks again for bringing Curious Properties yesterday. I have made contact with them and things are progressing. Greetings from the UK and God bless you. Greetings to you too. And you did promise that you're going to get back to us on how events unfold with them. Remember that here we want to do transparency. So in case they give you problem, in fact, tell me. That is why I make sure that the CEO of the company himself comes to sit down here with me on my hot seat. Let's ask him questions with his own mouth. Let him use his mouth and answer us how genuine his business is. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me make a welcome to the chief, in fact, the MD CEO of Curious Homes Limited, Mr. Chinedu Johnson. You're welcome to our studio.
Yeah.
I like the twinkle in your eyes and the smile on your lips. And something tells me that this is going to be a great conversation.
That is it, by grace.
All right, so tell us about Curious Home now.
Yeah.
He's good when we hear from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
So you're the horse now. By the way, Mr. Sunday is also at the corner to share his bit of part of conversation with us. Sunday, how are you doing today?
I'm fine. Good evening, everybody.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Let's hear you.
So, good evening, everybody. My name is Chinedu Johnson, the MD CEO of Curious Home Limited. Curious Home Limited is a limited liability company that deals mostly in land acquisition. We buy, we sell property, mostly in Lagos, Ondo State, and Enugu State.
Okay.
We have been operating for over 3 years now, and we have been successfully operating everywhere, and no issue. So, welcome, everybody.
Okay, all right. Okay, Lagos, Ogun State, Enugu State. Hey, why you just look all the states? You come on my state, River State. You jump and pass. Why you jump and pass?
We are progressing. We are getting.
You promise you progress to that direction. I also be wiki fear of wiki.
No.
Please don't be scared of us. We're not like that. No. We just talk, but we don't have plenty action. It's not like we don't have plenty action. We still have action. You're welcome. So tell us about the process of getting your properties.
Okay, so like I said before, Curious Home Limited is a company that basically on site and services. What do I mean by site and services? We buy land. We not necessarily build for, because we know that
so you're not a property, you're not a developer, as it were.
We're not a developer.
Okay.
We are a real estate company. We don't necessarily build because people want to experience their own architectural home. So what we provide a proper land, and we create enabling environment for them to build. So then we sell plot by plot to them to build, to experience their own architecture.
Okay, so you know that every Christmas something nice smells in the air because I don't know if anybody experiences that. Mr. Aki, you will also agree with me. There is a difference between Christmas stew and the stew you cook other days.
Yes, sure.
I don't know if it's just me. The smell is different. The taste is different. The chicken itself tastes different. Am I correct, Mr. Aki?
In days past, not now.
Why? Why?
There's so much blood. There's so much unhappiness going on around.
So it's not sweet.
Unfortunately, I'm not having any feeling
of Christmas. Because you feel like people are just going through a lot too much.
So much, including me.
Okay. You.
Yeah, Ben.
We were coming from a lot already now. You cannot be going through a lot. If you're going through a lot, what will we not do? Okay. We'll go back to a lot again.
Okay.
Now, that's not good for us.
So all of us.
So speaking about people going through a lot, are there kind of compensation? Because Sunday has been telling us something about rice and all that people get to get if they, buy properties. So is this correct? What largesse and free gifts do you have for people who buy properties from you this season?
Yes, because we all know what is happening in the whole world, not only Nigeria. The whole world have passing through difficulties now. Then Kudos Home Limited bring it in the table that we want to put smile in the face of all our subscribers that are going to be patronizing us in this Christmas by putting food in their table. Not that they cannot afford food, but at least as they are patronizing us, we are giving them something to at least to make them to know that we
be happy. Because who buy land, shall buy rice, Abi?
Yeah, whoever that fit to buy land can buy rice. But we were putting it adding an addition that they will say that at least Kudos Home have put this in their table. So we are doing it in a way that if you are buying one plot of land, we have a different places on our estate that we have estates mostly in Lagos here. We have like 5 to 6 estates here. We just launched Enugu last 2 months, and the estate we have in Lagos here, we have the one we call Kudos Villa. Okay, good. That one is stationed at Ibejuleki. That one is coming with CFO, and we are selling that place now for 11 million naira. And the place is a very good location. And we have another one called Kudos Do Garden. That Do Garden is 3.5 million naira. The same Ibejuleki.
Okay.
And we have another one called Kudos Town Ishiwa Epe. That one is going for that 700,000 naira. And another one we have at Abowa Ikorodu, Kudos City. That one is going for 650,000.
So all these properties, is there anyone that is actually ready to develop like immediately? People are living around already.
All are ready to develop.
All of them. People are already living around there.
All people are living around all our estates.
Oh wow!
The one in the Shiwa is in a settlement area already.
Okay.
If you buy, we allocate you. You can start building. People are living there already. Even if you build, you can generate rent from there. So the one at Abowa, we have neighbors that are doing their own stuff there. If you buy, the last 3 weeks we just allocated like 30-something people that bought from us, allocated them, and we even promised them incentives that we want our estate to develop. We don't want we are not that kind of estate people that they'll buy our land, leave it fallow. We have started fencing. Then we promise them that any of our subscribers that want to start building to linted, we are giving them 1,000 blocks of 1,000 blocks free.
Are you serious? So if somebody buys and builds to lintel, you give them 1,000 blocks for free. Just encourage them to build.
Encourage them to build because we want, development is people. As they are developing and building, the place is adding value already. So we tell them that the day we allocate them, tell them that any person that's going to start building and finish it, because if we tell them to just start building, they will come and dig foundation and go. I tell them that if you start building to lead to the lintel level, we give you 1,000 block free, and they were all happy. So that shows how serious we are about the business.
All right, interesting. I like the idea. So you want to run us through this promo that you have? You are the one who's been telling us you buy this, you get 1 bag of rice. Sunday, please kindly run us through that.
Yes. In fact, let me say I don't like the way my boss mentioned Abowa. Abowa is the hot, where everybody is nice. It's really so I got
it talk like big man. Now you go talk like person with the pay salary. So you go promote the goods. Well, go ahead.
That is why I actually give that promise. Abowa Ikorodu. That is why each time I am here, I always talk about Abowa Ikorodu. Abowa Ikorodu is fast selling and the gate house will be ready like in the less than 2 weeks now, and the gate house is, in fact, is one of the most beautiful gate house in that particular area, and you go for 650,000 naira
only.
And the plan
in banking terms,
with the infrastructure that we are putting in place in Abowa, before the month of February, Abowa is going for 1.5 million naira. I know that. Because once people started building, we are just doing this, we are encouraging people with that 650,000 to come in. But once it's February, Bowa is going for 1.5 million naira. So if you're a good investor, so what are you waiting for? Buy now, and you can buy.
So it's already appreciating very quickly.
Yes. Because development, brings appreciation to all any properties. So that is it for Abowa. And the Umuketu Ekwe, that one is 600,000 naira. Umuketu Ekwe is just 15 minutes away from Ketu roundabout, and like 25 minutes away from the new international airport, and 20 minutes away from the Ekweti Junction. And that was
how many minutes away from Dangote refinery? And also that always is that one market for us. So Kukuma, tell us.
Dangote refinery have like two phases. In terms of the exit part of Dangote refinery is about 25 minutes away from that particular area. So everything that you have in that area is something that is going to appreciate very, very fast. Because what we do is that we look around all those areas that are going to, a development is coming, and buy there so that people can buy.
Okay, so run us through our Christmas recipe.
Okay, the Christmas package that is very, very important. Like if you buy that particular Umuketu, you are going with a bag of, if you buy a plot of land and the 2 plot, a bag of a gallon of oil, 3 plot, a bag of rice, gallon of oil, and chicken. If you buy 6 plots, a deep freezer, gallon of oil, and 1 chicken and 1 bag of rice. The same thing with Enugu.
So if you buy the Enugu, irrespective of where you buy. So whether I buy the plots of 650 or I buy the plots of 350, I get the same thing, right?
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. So you don't have a skill. And the good thing about it is that you can pay small.
Just calm down first. So if, for instance, I'm buying, like, you can say I can start with how much?
With as low as 100,000.
So assuming I'm buying that Ikorodu one that they said is hot cake, and it's 650, and I start with 100,000 naira.
Yes.
If I pay that 100,000 this Christmas, am I getting my 1 bag of rice?
No.
Aha! I was coming to that. I wanted to know.
Before we proceed, let me give you this our phone number so that people can
jumping on it.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
The number to call is 090 590 47514 090 590 47514. Our office is at Egbeda 171 Egbeda Edimu Road.
Okay. So bottom line, I have to pay complete to enjoy the benefits. I'll Kukuma pay the money quick. May I collect my bag of rice because the bag of rice is 70k now.
Yes. For you to enjoy the benefit of this Christmas, you need to pay us complete of your land so that we enjoy that your benefit. But if you're paying instrumental, if you're paying instrumental, it's supposed to attract
extra charges. But the charges is not.
But because of the Christmas issue, we say okay, let us waive
the extra charges.
Then let them pay the same amount, but they are not getting the incentive of Christmas.
Okay, all right. So how about inspection? What does it take for me to come to inspection? Do I have to have paid some sort of advance payment, made an advance payment for me to be able to come for inspection?
For inspection, we take people inspection. We do as we go to the extent of going to their bus stop. We call you. We don't want to stress any of our clients. We tell us where you are. Then we station our vehicle there to come and pick you up and go to inspection.
Right, so someone is just asking now, how many installment payments?
Instrument payment. This promo we are running now, instrument payment is for 3 months. But to have the one for 6 months. But now this promo we are having, because all this property we are selling now, January we are reviewing the price, all the prices. So, but because of this Christmas, we have just give them price January.
So if I pay in 100,000 naira now, I have from now till March to finish my payment.
If you pay in that 100,000 naira, that means you have locked up the promo.
Okay, and then I have from now till March to finish.
3 months. The 3 months is to make that promo.
Okay, people are sending me messages here. This someone say, Madam Precious, I want to be your neighbor in the land. So you have to get the land for River State already, so that they come and be my land. For Parakot. It's in Parakot. I want my own land. I want it in Parakot. Okay, so Tech Test says, person they plan to marry me. You can't say I'm planning to buy over 10 plots in Ekpe and also a few in Ibejuleki. Quick question: can he use land to pay for Precious's bride price? Is it possible?
Wow, very possible.
So that he'll go and notify his people in Ibusa in Delta State.
Very possible.
So that they can use land to come and. But unfortunately,
it depends the land.
I was going to say that it depends the land because you cannot buy land in Ikorodu to marry me.
What do you mean?
That cannot happen. What do you mean, sir?
If you buy 10 acres to marry you can sell it and dispose it.
So can you 10 acres of land?
That is it now. Every village I have bride prices. So if we value it to the land he's buying to marry you, then we can go ahead.
So
and
Mr. Ebusa, have you heard? It's 10 from 10 acres upward. That's what Oga CEO have said,
so
and I go with whatever CEO has said.
So that is it.
Okay.
So what I advise most people to do is that in land investment is very, very essential. And it's very, very good, especially
it's always appreciated.
Especially now in this country that everything is falling apart. Only thing that don't fall apart is property business. Because
but Lagosians have been worried about their property business falling apart because of government issues.
One thing about property is that if you get your property and get your good documentation, you're good to go in anywhere. So
you're giving a guarantee now from you that the land that people will buy from you, they would not have to in future or now face any issue from the state government that this property we wrongly sold it to this estate, so you come and give me this particular paper, or we're demolishing all of you because you built your house by waterway or something.
By the grace of God, we'll make a lot of research before investing in of our property because we value our name very well. We don't toy with people's sweat because whoever that buy, I want to tell you something. People say that I bought this person buy one plot of land for me and it's disturbing me. Those people that buy one plot of land are the people that advertise and the people that are the most because somebody that bought 1 acre for you will not tell his friends because he have already made it. But somebody that won't buy one plot of land will like everybody to know.
One plot will be my life savings. Money
like everybody to know that you have gotten one plot and they have arrived. So as he's telling people about the property, I advertising Kudos Home Limited. So we value it, even if it's 100,000 you deposit in a company, we value it. So and we don't toy with Nigerians' sweat by taking them to a wrong property. So all our property will make due diligence. All of them are in a good title and good location. Some people say I want a land of C of O. Let me tell you, it's not that a land has C of O. All the whole land belongs to government. Both the one C of O and the one without C of O. But the why people get it wrong is that you buy land without C of O and perfect your document, you are good to go. You buy the one C of O and even the government want to use it, they will compensate you. And if you buy the one that don't have C of O and they perfect it, it becomes as well as C of O. And if you wait to buy the one of C of O, just like the one called Kudosville and now selling 11 million naira.
And that comes with C of O.
And that one comes with C of O. If you cannot afford that one, you can buy the one of 650,000 naira that the paper is being processing. And as the paper is processing, when the C of O come out, you are good to go.
Does it at least have governor's consent?
No, governor's consent is after C of O.
Okay.
So a land that has C of O is one that governor will consent. On.
Okay. So someone is saying here, Madam Precious, please kindly help me ask if they have property in mainland. And the person now also said that you shouldn't bring God in this matter. Assure them that what you're buying from them, whether it is good or not, whether it is in a safe environment or not, bring God inside. Not concept by the grace of God. Tell them, say, with your full chest, say what they sell for them, no get problem.
Full chest, what we are selling for all our clients don't have problem.
Okay. So do you perchance have property within the mainland that people can jump in on?
No, mainland we don't have vast land we see here. All you see here is buy and demolition.
But in case people need single properties within the mainland,
if you need single property, we can help you to acquire that. Okay. But for now, we don't have. But if you need, we can help you to acquire that. Get that.
Okay. All right.
So your phone number.
No, say that your phone number is important. Where? Oh yeah, they go.
The number to call is 090 590 475 14 090 590 475 14.
And you can equally follow us on all our social media at Kudos Home Limited and www.kudoshome.limited.
www.kudos home limited. Kudos is spelled Kudos.
Yes,
Kudos Home Limited.
KUDOS. Kudos Home Limited. You can follow us and you'll get in touch with us.
To touch a little on what she said.
Your time has finished, too.
I know.
Sharp.
Yes.
Oh yeah, touch it quick.
in terms of maybe government come tomorrow to encroach land and all those kind of things. You know, sometimes those people that normally buy one plot think that they are the one that losing most. But we that own the property, we are the one that lose more money than them. Because number one, we are going to lose money, lose time, even sometimes losing our name. So we try all possible to make sure that those kind of things does not come to existence tomorrow. Okay. So we try. So our assurance is that whatever that we promise to do, we normally do it. That is our priority.
Okay, so somebody is asking you a question. So the fowl that you'll be giving, is it old layer, be broiler? They want to know the fowl. They want to know the type of fowl before they buy, because the fowl is very important to them. And then
so are you mentioning it?
Yes. And this says,
know their names.
Okay, and then this says, I connect to Kudos yesterday and it's going well. Maybe a test, you started a tech test. He now says that that he will remove Fubara from government so that he use the money to come and buy land for me. If you remove Fubara, I don't do it justice. Then I be saying you not be husband again. You have washed your hands off husband material. Thank you so much, the CEO of Kudos Home, Chinedu Johnson, for stopping by. I appreciate your love. Thank you for making our time to come. And Sunday, Enyinta. My name is Enyi, so I should be able to call Enyinta. Sunday Enyinta, I always forget. Forgive me. I pack your load out of my studio. Thank you so much. No, there's no connection. Don't worry. And I get back to Mr. Aki.
Go to Port Harcourt then.
He didn't go to Prakot. He didn't see my mother. Just straight the other side. So, Mr. Aki Fatuke, thank you so much. And in one final word, you have something to say. Not like your last word, not like you're dying. Just a parting shot. You know, if I say final word, it looks like I'm exiting you.
Yes, my final word is that Nigerian can work. It will require a lot of work, a lot of patience, a lot of citizen participation, and I believe my heart, my soul, my spirit goes to all manner of persons who at this Christmas are not smiling and have been affected one way or the other, especially the bomb victims, and to all the people that are on Facebook and
YouTube.
On YouTube. I love you all. I love
even
you.
Even they're giving you basketballs.
Oh yes, give me basketballs.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, we must make sure we build a virile and strong country that we can all be proud of.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Kenneth Mali, you said I want to do something for my food drive. Unfortunately, I can't give you my account number on here. Can you please DM me on Instagram at Precious Enyi Official? Precious Enyi is PRECIOUSENYI official on altogether on Instagram, or do me a message on Facebook at Precious Enyi. The picture on Instagram and Facebook are the same. Or perhaps you can just do a WhatsApp message right away now that I'm here in the studio to the station's WhatsApp number and tell me it's you so that I can forward the details to you. It's 0700-903-9039. I appreciate everyone who's donating. So, Mr. Aki, you may be surprised about that. It's because my birthday is 1st of January.
It's 1st of January.
And for the past 20 years...
You are building in Yoruba.
I am, yes. So for the past 20 years, I usually start the year with some sort of charity. But this year, I want to be able to provide food for those who cannot afford it, but who are not in charity homes.
So we are two of a kind. My birthday is April 21st, and I spend my days in old people's homes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I spend my days with physically challenged, and
I've gone to several homes within the past 22 years,
and they are spread all over the country.
Yes, of course. I started with Port Harcourt where I was. So
beautiful.
Thank you so much. All right, Lagos, that's the size of our package. Thank you to everyone who's joined us. Go to Precious Enyi TV on YouTube and go see what Darlington dropped there, right? Precious Enyi TV. I love you. You know I do, right? Have yourself an amazing evening. Good night.